The Witch of Moon's Lane presents
How to Witch, bitch.
Welcome back to How to Witch Bitch. Michelle, the Witch of Moon's Lane. Hello again.
Hello, darling.
Now, we've had some interesting comments from some of our past podcasts. Trish has sent a message saying, Michelle, I laughed so much when you talked about almost exposing an affair at a funeral in one of your podcasts when the man dared you to read him. So go through that again. So this is a guy who was a bit of a skeptic. He didn't believe you're a witch.
Yep.
His wife was standing with him.
Yep.
And then what did you do?
Well, she walked away, and basically what I was talking about with him, and I was just sort of...
He didn't believe you.
No, he didn't believe me, but I was reiterating that when was he going to tell his wife that he was leaving her because he was having an affair, and he was having an affair.
Wow.
There you go.
And
so he shut that down real quick. Yeah, shut that one down.
So Trish also says it must be so tempting to eavesdrop on people's secrets. How do you know where to draw the line? Have you ever heard something you wish you hadn't?
Oh, that's a good question.
That's a good one.
When I channel, I often will say, I can't say that. Like I'll be saying in my mind, I can't say that because it's sort of, it can be either highly personal or just sound nutty to me.
Right.
But I have to say it because I've got to go with my gut and I have to say what I'm hearing and seeing and smelling and it shock values them, but it shocks me too because it's kind of like it gives credence to that I'm speaking to that person or I'm channeling that person and they have that message and the message is just for them. So for me, it is interesting, but I'm not someone, and I think I touched on this before. You know how some people say, I just can't go out because there's just so many voices, and I can just pick up so many energies, and I can't go out. I'm the opposite. I just go out, but I just don't tune in. So it's like you get this, a radio station, you know.
It's on in the background.
You can put it on or you can turn it off and I just, can tune in and then I just tune out because technically a lot of the stuff is I don't want to know. I don't really want to know what people are thinking or saying or their secrets. But on that note, I'll just be sitting there and someone that I don't know will just come up and just start a conversation and tell me their life story. And I'll have a little, blah, 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 and I'll say something and off I go. So I seem to be in the right
You're one of those people. You've got one of those faces.
Yeah,
you've got one of those things. It's like you always there's certain people who have that kind of energy where people just open up without actually wanting them to.
Well, I was at a Robin Williams concert. That was funny, and my husband was
Robbie Williams or Robin Williams? Very different people.
Robin.
Yeah.
Okay. Although I'd like to go see Robbie. I reckon he'd be fun.
We'll see what we can do.
And I walked into the bathroom and I lost a good half an hour. I just had to turn to the lady next to me and say blah, 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 blah. And she was just like crying, so I can't sort of leave her in tears. I just gave her a cuddle and said, you'll be right. I can't remember who I channeled through. It was so long ago. And I came out and I got into trouble because, we were meant to be going in. Where the hell have you been? Where the hell have you been?
You're with the crying lady in the toilet.
So I've got a very understanding husband now. I must say, when we first started dating or seeing one another 26 years ago, he was not impressed.
Standing in the toilet and some random woman comes up to you and starts telling you something from some long lost relative or something.
Yeah, I know.
That there has to be a moment of fear where you go.
That's happened a lot.
Really?
And I try to go out and not interfere, and I don't. I shut down, but there'll always be that one time when I've been having a bit to drink and my defences are down and it's just like I just hear something loud and clear and I have to go, I'm terribly sorry. You're going to think I'm an absolute nutter. And maybe I am. Do you know?
Oh, wow. And most of the time it's true they understand you or do they block you?
No. They're all open to it. They're all open to it. I've had one guy that was just like at that. He was sitting on a bar stool, and this was at a bar. He was like, and he didn't know what to say, and he was a bit abrupt. But he came back later, a couple of hours later, after it had sunk in, and said thank you. So you just got to do what you got to do.
Yeah.
How many times do you get a gut feeling and go, I can't say that?
Oh, heaps of times.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm not doing anything that other people haven't done. I've just honed my craft a little bit more.
It's when you know something about someone where you just go, that person's an absolute numpty.
Oh, yeah.
Or there's that. Or the pregnancy thing's an interesting thing. Can you tell, do you get that vibe with some people when they're pregnant and they don't know they're pregnant?
Yes, I've done that before.
Yep,
I've had that. I've even had where someone's come to me and they've said, I've got twin boys. And I said, no, you haven't. You've got a twin boy and a girl. No, I haven't, da-da-da-da. And then lo and behold, one of each sex pops out.
There you go.
And in fact, I've done that a few times.
Really?
Yeah.
All right, well, today in this podcast episode, we're going to talk about the Wheel of the Year. Now, this is not the Wheel of Fortune, the TV show. This is actually the Wheel of the Year. Now, I know nothing about this, which is very helpful to you.
Yeah.
So tell me what the Wheel of the Year is. How does it work? What does it represent?
Well, we have 8 seasonal holidays. They're called Sabbaths. And if we go...
It's like a witch's calendar.
Well, no, this is going back just to paganism. And, you know, pagans are just any religion or group that doesn't believe in Christianity or the church. So, you know, you're talking about people from, you know, years and years and years before the church ever came on the scene. And, you know, they're basically looking at the sun and they're looking at the moon, they're looking at the earth, okay? And the earth is where they're getting their food, they're getting their sustenance, they're getting the warmth. So technically, each one of those particular parts of the year meant something for them. It's like Sawan, most people call it Sahan. So it is the new year of... our new year. So it's the beginning of the year for us.
Okay.
So because we're southern witches, we're back to front. So some southern witches will just follow it the way that it is over in Britain and the States, and others will just follow it completely around the other way.
What do you do?
Now, I do it the other way, and I only really do 4, and I do it really more modern because the thing is I don't have land. I'm not growing anything apart from tomatoes and some herbs, but I'm not raising sheep and I'm not,
that's a shame. I do love a barbecue.
If I was a farmer, I probably would do more of that.
Yeah.
But in modern society, the interesting thing with that is that is the beginning of the year for witches.
Okay.
Now, that's usually celebrated around about April.
Oh.
Now, for witches, our year starts in April. And it was basically Gregorian, you know how we follow the Gregorian calendar. So it was 1582, which was Pope Gregory, or Gregorian, and he was the 13th. And basically in 1582, he decided that April should go to the 1st of January to start our year, and that is how we follow the calendar now. So that basically, if you were a witch and you were still following the pagan, then you would be known as a fool April 1st.
Got ya. Okay.
So you had till midday to get your shit together.
And then after that?
Yeah, so that's basically where that sort of came from. And that was really sort of the nature. We were looking at nature. We were looking at the beginning. Then we'd go into Yule, so that marks the longest night of the year. It's kind of like when the sun returns, we're very much about celebrating that. Imbolc is more of a Sabbath that says that we're beginning spring, but Imbolc actually means belly, and belly is talking about when the sheep had full bellies with the lamb.
Yep.
Yeah, so that was more about celebrating not only the earth, but the animals that are fed through the earth, and then also we're fed that we eat from as well.
Okay.
So a lot of people say, well, what do you do with that sort of festival? Well, we don't do a lot of the stuff that they used to do back in the day, because they'd have big festivals and parties, and, you know, there would be, they'd dress up as sheep and they'd dress up in all these sort of pagan sort of things.
Lit.
Well, you don't see me doing that.
No.
So how I celebrate the types of produce that we can have is I make a stew.
Oh,
so
wow.
if you actually go back and have a look at any of my TikTok or any my Instagram or Facebook, you'll actually see photos of pies.
Lots of
pies and casseroles.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's
you're
how I do it.
celebrating the birth of the sheep by eating them.
Right.
Wonderful. Sounds good. I'd prefer to do that too.
But that's what they're doing. They're eating the grains. They're eating stuff from the land. They then are growing the babies. We're eating the babies. Not all of them, but that's kind of what we are. Oh, God, the vegetarians are going to come for me.
No.
The vegans.
They'll be right. They've got their own wheel.
Yeah,
I'm
they
sure
have their own wheel.
They must have.
So then after that, we have Ostara, and that is talking about spring and what we want to do, and we'll celebrate with our spring. Then we move on over to Beltane. Now, Beltane's midpoint between spring and summer, and it's about being really fertile, and that is where the a lot of goddesses of fertility come in, like Bridget and Hegate even, because she's sort of like the mother. So often when we're talking about the wheel, if we're, say, looking at tarot, we would be looking at the Wheel of Fortune. So the wheel also incorporates maiden, mother, crone, which is very much about what witches believe. So it is a half moon, a full moon and a half moon, which is the three stages of when you're a maiden, when you're a mother and when you're a crone. And as a man, it's the same. It's when you're a young man, a father and an old man, which is sage. And so it just talks about the types of, what your life is like, the wisdom that you get going through maturity with childbirth and then coming into the wisdom that you have as an older woman, which is, see the old crones around the pots, And then we have Lamos, which is really about the harvest seasoning and the abundance and the fact that we're beginning our harvest. So Melbourne is the second harvest, and it's talking about autumn. But each of the Sabbaths really are to identify. They're all very similar, where we have to say thank you for the beginning of life and then going through the death ritual. So everything is a cycle of life, and we must give thanks and homage to the gods of the time, and a lot of people just worship the sun at the time. You got sun gods, and that's all around Greece, Apollo, and you've got Helios is Greece, Apollo is Italian. We've got all different types of sun gods around the world, and also we worship the moon. So it's interesting how. Going right back to the calendar of when we were sort of around, that we worship the land because Mother Earth is what we knew.
Well, that's what was feeding. So you can imagine the celebration of when the crops have gone through the winter period and then they come back during spring. You can see how that would be the creation of life and therefore the feeding of the people and then going from there.
We know the maypoles, when they would go around the maypoles, that's all part of pagan stuff. That's where that comes from.
What does that represent?
Well, that represents, normally they have that in Mayborn, it's mainly just to celebrate, and it's just like the continuity of going in and out of the different sort of stages of your life, and it's in a circle and there's girls going in. So it's just interweaving life.
Awesome. Now, also, so is that the Wheel of the Year? We've done Wheel of the Year.
That's basically the Wheel of the Year, and it's about different holidays and what people sort of celebrate. And again, it depends if you're a Wiccan, which is more modern sort of witchcraft. You could be a pagan, which you can really go back to the roots of it all. So it just depends. As I was saying before, not all witches practice witchcraft as well, and not all witches identify in the same things. A Wiccan is completely different too. There's a lot of witches that don't do the three-will creed, which is if I send harm, none, and if you do, it comes back 3 times. Not everybody does that.
So it's
kind of what we were talking about before.
Yeah.
When I was saying if you're an arsehole, you're an arsehole.
I do remember that part of the last episode.
Well, I guess another way of looking at it is, there's lots of different religions. They all have some similarities, but they're not all the same. So,
everyone's got worship in there and also thankfulness.
Well, the thing is the rule is really thanking Mother Earth. This is where you live. If you don't protect her and give homage at least to that, then you're damaging the planet you live on.
Interesting. Also, Valentine's Day, of course, coming up.
Oh, yes.
You have love candles and love potions.
I do. So you can
what's a love candle?
So love candle, I've already done all the work for you. It's got lots of lovely essences in it, and you have the spell on the back, which you say. And the potion's exactly the same. But if you're looking for something just to do for home, just get a red candle, get a rose quartz, pop them in, write your name on one side, write their name on the other, and light it. And then you can just sort of say, come to me, love, come to me, love, come in all forms, see me, bring me protection, so mote it be. So you can just say something really simple and light. That'll be bringing it for you. If you're wanting to sort of get it spiked up in the bedroom, or you're wanting to reconnect, you can get some of their hair, you get some of your hair, and you combined it.
Oh.
Yeah, you put a coin underneath, you put a little bit of salt, a little bit of rose petals, and you put it into a red cloth. You can even put a bit of chili in there for a bit of spice, and you stick it under your bed.
Wow.
I know what Maura's doing. Note.
Tucking hairbrushes. What if someone is without love? Like not to be asking for love, but maybe they've been hurt in the past and they want to heal themselves. Valentine's Day is difficult for a number of people.
Yeah.
With lost love, past love, anything like that. Is there a way, like a self-love kind of thing as well?
I actually think the best thing that you can do is a lot of us are turning to spirituality because of past trauma.
Absolutely.
And it is up to us in this generation to stop the cycle so that our children don't have to deal with what we've had to deal with, because generation trauma is real. A lot of us, you wouldn't know that someone was suffering because mental health was certainly not something we talked about, you know. So it wasn't something you pull out the cake and had a cup of tea and said, you know what, I think I'm Jats crackers today, or I'm not feeling it. So definitely with someone, it's about getting the time to love yourself. So that means if your subconscious is not being fed, it then feels that it's at a loss. So therefore it's in what we call fight or flight mode, which then gives you anxiety. And when you're anxious, it's probably because you haven't healed your subconscious. So a great thing to do is just go down to the beach, sit on the beach, shut your eyes, and as you're bringing in the sun energy through the top, you can feel it all going through all the different chakras and down. You just say, breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out, and just say, universe, I'm letting go of the things that I cannot change. I'm letting go of the things that I cannot control. I'm letting go of fear. I'm letting go of not feeling love. I'm letting go of you can say people's names if you want to. I'm letting go of always maybe being self-critical, whatever that is. You draw a line in the sand. Once you step over that line, you'll actually see where your little bottom imprint is. So it's very much
Mine would be quite large, not little. But anyway, keep going.
Man, terror. It's very much about seeing that you've drawn the line. That means you've had enough.
And you're stepping over.
And you'll see that the bottom imprint, you can see where you once were. So it's a bit like the footprints in the sand. Someone was there, but they're not there anymore. So therefore, in essence, you've now stepped over. So now you're sitting here and you're saying, universe, I'm now open. I don't totally trust myself because maybe you're the one that's sabotaging your life all the time. So you say, I now put my trust in you. And so I'm now open to the love I deserve, the peace I deserve, the career I deserve, the happiness I deserve, and the life I deserve. It would be best to walk onto the beach one way and actually draw the line, do the chart and walk the other way. So you're leaving. A lot of people do in meditation, but I find meditation really hard. Meditation, you go down a cliff and you jump over the cliff and then you go up a tree. I mean, I'm lost. I'm thinking, did I put the washing out?
Where's the car?
What am I cooking for dinner?
What's that noise? Ow, my back just went. All that kind of stuff.
Yeah, so you can't sort of do that. So this is a great way to just sort of then give it to the universe and say, okay, now all I have to do is be open.
Wonderful. All right, so there's a bit of love spells, love candles, the Wheel of the Year, also exposing affairs at funerals. Just fabulous episode with How to Witch Pitch. Next episode, we are going to talk a little bit about, you did touch on the crystals as well just before with the rose quartz and all that kind of stuff. We're going to touch on crystals and also astrology and some moon phases as well in the next episode. We look forward to you joining us again for the next episode. Thanks, Michelle.
Thank you.
Woodwork Podcasts.